Have you ever noticed how some digital artwork feels flat, even when it appears technically correct and well-rendered? Often, the missing ingredient is the nuanced treatment of shadows, which can sometimes look dull or simply dark. To refine subtle details in shadows, focus on introducing subtle color variations, reflected light, and soft textures, rather than just making them darker. This approach brings out the hidden depth and realism that elevates your digital paintings. The core reason this works is that shadows in the real world are rarely pure black. They absorb ambient light from their surroundings and reflected subtle colors from nearby objects and surfaces, creating a rich visual depth that pure dark tones cannot achieve. Simply reducing brightness or saturation often flattens the image. Start by identifying the main light source and then consider secondary light sources, like ambient light or bounce light. Use a soft brush with a very low flow or opacity to gently paint in muted, desaturated colors that are complementary or analogous to your main light source. For instance, if your main light is warm, introduce cool, almost imperceptible blues or purples into the deeper shadow areas. Next, introduce micro textures. Instead of using a solid dark color, use a brush with a slight texture or adjust the brush's jitter settings to create a subtle grain or unevenness within the shadow. This breaks up the flat appearance without creating harsh lines. Also, consider the material of the object. A metallic object will show different reflections in shadow than a fabric one. Think about adding a whisper of reflected light from the ground or a nearby wall. This is called bounce light, and it brings life to your forms. A fantastic technique is to use an overlay or soft light blending mode layer filled with a deep, desaturated color, perhaps a dark blue or purple, over your existing shadow areas. Then, mask out the areas where you want more light to peek through, subtly revealing the underlying details. This preserves existing textures and colors while deepening the shadow without making it opaque or muddy. This method gives you non-destructive control and helps avoid muddy colors. Mastering subtle shadow details dramatically enhances realism and mood in your digital art. By understanding that shadows are full of information and not just an absence of light, you can add incredible visual richness. It allows your forms to turn more convincingly, guides the viewers, and creates a more immersive and believable world within your artwork.